What's up? This is Jake with Walk-Squawk. Good morning. We're breaking down things on where things stand with the U.S. China trade talks, the latest on soybeans, and what to watch for the upcoming WASDE report. So let's start in London, where the U.S. Chinese officials wrapped up their 2 day of trade talks. And the outcome, well, let's talk about that. So Lutnick and the vice commerce minister in China said they agreed upon the framework to implement the already agreed upon Geneva consensus. So that has markets kind of scratching their head because why were they still hashing out this meeting if basically they already had a template agreed upon in the Geneva um, anyways, Lutnick said they'll move forward once the presidents approve it, but there's still no concrete deal. No changes to rare earth, no chip agreements, and no timeline. He did say the U.S. might roll back restrictions if China resumes exports, but again, that's a maybe. So far, the only clear result is that both sides agree to keep the tone positive and keep talking. There are no new meetings scheduled, according to the U.S. trade rep. So market reaction on this is kind of muted. Gold dipped, then bounced back. S&P futures kind of chopped around and finished a little bit flat here. We're still down 12. Now, and the dollar's weakened slightly. You still have soybeans up a little bit here. Despite all this, soybeans are holding up a little bit near a 2 week high on optimism that talks might eventually lead to something. That said, China hasn't bought a single U.S. soybean so far in 2025. Not one. That hasn't happened since 2005, even though soybeans were the U.S. top ag export to China last year, worth over $12 billion. So while the market is holding up for now, the lack of U.S. export demand is a real issue here, but we're still finding, connections elsewhere. So here's what's happening in the cash belt or cash market. Corn basis is strong in the eastern corn belt. Places like Winchester, Greenville, Dayton, Ohio are bidding 40 cents over July. Decatur, Illinois is holding at 11 over. Western bids are steady. Cedar Rapids down 3 cents. Soybean basis is firm in the east, especially in Indiana. Morrisontown is up 5 cents to 40 over. But Iowa processors are weak. Mason City down 40, and then Cedar Rapids down 20. On the freight side, trucks are still trading at a $10 premium to rail. Crush margins remain tight, under $1 per bushel. Processor ownerships is stretched out for about 4 weeks. Meal and soy oil basis levels were mostly unchanged globally. So last week, China booked over 30 soybeans cargoes last week, all coming from South America. Total purchase for the current year are just under 100 million tons, still 8 million short of the USDA's forecast. Uh, Brazil's second crop corn looks good, 67% rated good to excellent. Argentina soy oil basis slipped again, and farmer selling remains slow. Corn stocks rose 7% on the week. Soybeans flat. So let's zoom out. Corn, kind of feels fairly priced here. Kind of just hanging out right around that 450, probably where you'd see some farmer selling of some of that old crop still supplies. Soybeans are saleable, but no Chinese demand yet. On the June WASDE report hits this Thursday, we'll get a new supply and demand estimates plus updated crop production and yield forecasts. In July, options expire on June 20th with big strike zones around the 4.450 corn, 10.50 for beans, and 5.50 for wheat. That's all I got for us today.